What's up, guys? How's it going? My name is Fedor, and on my left, this wonderful reporting live from Novosibirsk, Russia, cute and wonderful girl. Your name is
Victoria.
And today we're gonna have a very serious topic because people have been asking Victoria on YouTube, in the comments, on Instagram, in person.
Yes.
How do you, how are you in Russia? How do you
Yeah.
deal with racism in Russia?
Or they keep saying, "Oh my gosh, it's dangerous. Like
It's dangerous,
you're gonna
yeah.
experience so much racism. Like, are you okay?"
Yeah. And now we want to bring it up to the channel and express and talk about this here because there are a lot of things to talk about. Even though we're gonna try to be as polite
Yes,
and
as possible.
as possible.
And not offend anyone.
Right. So
But we're just gonna talk about our truths and the facts that we go through in Russia and in America. So
before we start, I want to say that this is our story. This is our experience. This is not. We're not trying to speak for everybody, for all black ladies who come to Russia. We're not trying to speak for all Russians that come to America. It's our stories that we want to share and our experience. So, yeah.
take it as you will.
Take it as you will. Victoria, when you come to Russia, how do you deal with racism towards you in Russia?
So I first want to tackle this first point and say I don't really experience any racism in Russia. And I know that's going to shock all of you guys. When I face racism, it's in America every day. And it's like so sad to even say this, that like I'm American and I experience racism almost every day in America. And now we're currently in Russia and I haven't experienced racism. But I will tell you what I do experience that's not racism, how Russians act towards me is kind of not ignorance, but
interest.
Interest. Yeah, that's the word that I'm looking for. They're interested. They're not treating me less than. When I'm in America, a lot of times when I go out with friends or whatever, I'm treated less than, and I can always tell.
Are you talking about America or Russia now?
America.
In America,
sorry.
you're treated as less than.
Yeah, sorry, to clarify. In America, I'm treated as less than. So, in Russia, I am not. Because people, when I'm on the street, guys, or when I'm walking on the street with Fedor, men, women are just staring at me like in awe. And it's not a disgusted look. It's more of like, wow, like, what am I looking at? Like I'm not I'm an alien or something, but it's just almost like I'm an alien. Like I have powers or superpowers or something like.
They're looking with interest, looking with curiosity. They want to probably learn more and find out more of why you came to Russia. What's your story?
Yes. And
it's not a look off. Why are you here? Why are you in my country? Get out.
Yes, and I know it's not that look because a lot of them say to me, "Ты очень красивая," and that's it. They just say,
which means you're very beautiful.
You're very beautiful. Like especially women, like they always say that to me, and I'm just like, wow, I feel so good when they stare and say something versus when they just stare.
Right.
Because when they stare, I feel uncomfortable.
Right.
Yeah.
And let's talk about the same thing, almost the same thing in America. So here you're treated differently, but you're not treated as less than.
Yeah, I'm not treated as less than, and I'm not harmed in any way. Men, when they stare at me, they're just like, oh my gosh, like low key in their heads, they look like they're thinking, like, oh my gosh, how can I get a black woman? Like that's. Oh
yeah.
That's how.
I can tell because I'm right there next to them trying to say, all right. I'm her boyfriend. Don't even try to come close.
Fedor's always giving them the dead stare so they can look away. But like that's honestly how they look at me. Like wow, like
I agree. And so when we tell the stories of American racism to Russian people, they are shocked. How can such thing even exist?
Right.
How can somebody just simply mistreat somebody else based on their skin color?
Yes.
And me coming to America, mind you, I had no racism in my head, in my subconscious before coming to the States, but now I see certain things, and now I see the fact that when we're at the restaurant, sometimes, maybe it's been like 4 or 5 times, a lady would come up to me.
In America, right?
In America.
In America.
A waiter would come up to me, sir, how you doing? What do you want to order? I want to order this, and that. Turns to Victoria, and what do you want? Sir, what do you want to order?
Yes.
How are you doing?
To Fedor.
To me.
And mind you, they don't know that he's Russian. They just think that he's a white American.
Yes. So, and then when they turn to Victoria, they're like, What do you want?
Disrespectful, treat me like I'm less than,
Yeah.
rude, short, and it's sad. It's really sad that we experience this in America a lot of
Right.
times when we eat, because it happens so often that I don't even like to say anything anymore. I don't
Right.
even like to address it because I don't want to be called out as, oh, this crazy black woman, you know,
Yeah.
or, you know, all those videos where you see them call the police on a black person. Like, I just
Yeah.
don't, I'm just so scared that that's going to happen to me. I either say, Fedor, handle it, or Fedor just already handles it.
Yeah, which we've done multiple times.
Yeah, Fedor always handles it without letting me interfere because I'm
Yeah.
already feeling some type of way.
Yeah.
And Fedor would just, let me see the manager, just
Yeah.
bypass
Yeah.
her and
Why-
her attitude.
Why deal with her if she has a mentality versus mentality? I cannot change her
Yes.
anymore. So I just want to get proper treatment for us. Get a manager, get a different waiter,
Yes.
and then we're good.
Now, in Russia, let's talk
Now
about...
in Russia, they'll come to Victoria. Hello, how
Oh
you
my
doing?
gosh.
What do you want to order? Because they have never seen a black person, especially a beautiful black woman.
Yes.
And they don't know how to act. It's not because they are looking at her as inferior. They're looking at her as, okay, so I want to say the right things. I want to be as polite as I can
Yes.
because she is a visitor here. She maybe, you know, doesn't know the culture, so I want to treat her the best I can.
Yes.
Which is
It's
surprising.
amazing.
Which
And
is surprising.
specifically, the places that we've been to that we're talking about in Russia, since it's such a big country.
Yeah.
Moscow, St. Petersburg, and Novosibirsk. It's like they're putting on their best effort to
Yeah.
be kind. You
Right.
know, and not treat me, not separate me, but treat me as an equal,
Right.
as I am in Russian. And
Right.
even, especially when I order in Russian,
Oh yeah.
oh my gosh,
They light
their
up,
whole
they
heart,
smile.
their whole heart drops. But like,
Yeah.
it's just crazy that this is even a topic that we
Yeah.
have to talk about.
Right.
Because I'm so sick of the negative comments
Right.
that you guys are putting. That it's dangerous. I mean, of course, if you're walking out at late at night, it's
Yeah.
gonna be dangerous anywhere. But
Which is like in any country. If you don't know the country, it's going to be dangerous.
Yes.
But I feel like Russia and Russian people are way past the fact that you're black and I'm white. There
Right.
is not a hate toward black people,
Yeah.
which I cannot say about America, sadly.
yes,
You know-
and Fedor, it's so funny that we're talking about this now because when me and Fedor first started dating, I would tell him this is what might happen when we first started dating, when we go out to different
Yeah,
places.
and I didn't believe that.
He didn't, but he couldn't wrap his mind about it.
Yeah.
And he was like, "No, you're exaggerating. Like, I don't believe it." And I was like, "I'm telling you."
Yeah, and then when I saw it myself,
When
it
you-
was you
When
know,
you saw me
pretty
being
apparent.
mistreated up front, how did
Yeah.
how did you feel?
Oh, I was shocked at first. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know how to act. But then I realized that whatever you were telling me was true, and then we have to just make sure that we are not like that. That we raise our kids differently in the loving
Right.
and in the way that they love everybody, regardless of
Right,
who they are
right.
and where they're from. But
Right.
yeah, lastly, before we wrap up, I still see that Americans think in classes, and they classify a person white, black, poor, rich, foreigner, you know, like a native, whatever. They see people in classes and they treat people in
In
classes.
classes.
And
That's
they,
very important.
They have their mindset of how I'm gonna treat a black person versus a white person versus an Asian. And
we're not saying, guys, we're not saying all Americans.
Of course.
But I'm saying the majority.
on average.
On average.
On average.
Yes. It's,
So, and it's not the same here in Russia. We, from the childhood, we don't really separate. We are, you know, raised to treat everybody the same. And one-on-one encounter is always going to be genuine and kind. We don't classify people. That's not how we grew up.
Exactly. And it's funny because not only when we eat, but just when we like visit different places, like
Yeah.
I see that like they, like for example, when we go to museums or like when we just do random stuff,
Right.
they treat me the same.
Right.
And it just blows my mind because
Yeah.
it's like I'm not treated like that in America.
Right.
Wherever we go in Russia, I just feel so welcomed because I'm treated the same, and there's no the same or even better in some cases.
Right.
And I just love it because I don't experience that in America, unfortunately. I love America, but these are the facts, guys. these are our
Our
experiences, our stories, and we hope you can put your stories in the comments.
Yes, please.
Whatever you may have gone through that you didn't know was racism, or that could have been borderline racist. You know?
Or how do you deal with racism yourself, and how do you think it can improve in the future?
Yes.
That's it. We're going to see you in the next one.
Yeah.
Пока-пока.
Пока-пока.
Got into your teeth.
Oh.
Just now, actually. Go ahead, sir.
Kind of looks like I'm sitting in a chair.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Here, sit on
Look,
this.
let's try.
No. This can be a good intro right here.